Last time we spoke, you said this market was positioned and biased towards further gains. Is that still the case?
It's very much still the case, and I think that's surprised a lot of people because I think going into year-end last year, you can justify it because of positioning and the need to chase the upside. To start the year, we flipped the page, and guess what? Exact same dynamic playing out in the derivatives market. We're still seeing extremely low levels of skew in the derivatives market, meaning no demand for downside, and everyone's chasing that upside. Now, a lot of questions around whether this is euphoria, whether the momentum has gone too far. One thing I would point to maybe say that this potentially could be justified is if you just look at the underlying S&P 500 index, forget about the options market. One of the things that we've noted is that S&P has actually been more volatile on the upside than the downside, which is very different from how it historically behaves, right? Historically, markets crash lower, grind higher, and that's why puts trade at a premium to calls. Over the past 2 years, the vicious move has all come to the upside. So more volatility on market up days than down days, hence the need to use options to manage that volatility becoming greater on the upside.
Would you describe yesterday as a crash higher? Exactly.
I think because it's been consistent year to date as well, the biggest moves have all come from the upside, not the downside. And you'd have to go back over 20 years to find a similar period when we've seen this inversion in terms of how markets are behaving.
Are you seeing a lot more money coming in, kind of lured in by FOMO? Why is it that there are these sort of vicious moves upward? Do you have a sense of the anatomy of that?
I mean, I think people are still coming into the year, I think, we're talking about where's the next leg higher going to come from. And sure, on the macro side, people have kind of reduced expectations of Fed rate cuts. But, look at earnings. Earnings came in very strong. I think that's going to be what is propelling stocks higher going forward is the fundamentals. And then, you look at the money on the sidelines, are we, can positioning increase from here? I think it can. And certainly people are using options as a way to lever up their equity exposure.